My name's Angela, founder of the I Am Pivot 180 experiment. I'm so excited. This is the anecdote for what's going on out there. What we're really going to do is dismantle the patriarchy. It's not about politics, it's about energy. And if we can deconstruct and own our own stories, then a shift is going to happen. Americans are doers. But what we're not thinking about is that if we want a real change in trajectory, we need to shift something within ourselves and try to get it as wide as possible. Then I believe that we will hit the ground running in 2028. After that, there will still be work to do, maybe a couple of decades, but at least she will be on the right path, America, because we will infuse the new way with feminine energy this time. This is also the men who are tapped into their feminine energy. It's not about gender. This is about fluidity, creativity, out-of-the-box thinking, compassion, just the American way, the values, the truth, the soul of this nation. How is the America that we want to co-create? It's going to go in a different way. So that's fun. The first part of it is really for yourself, is really to lift the anxiety, is really to gain control, really to reconnect and reimagine what we could do. We need to have a little imagination here. Because my dad worked at Nike before it became corporate. That was a revolutionary company. We're going to have more revolutionary companies. It took us 400 years to get here. What if the new American dream is tapping into your creativity, doing what you love, making money, serving people? We have a lot of shit to do to get all of this sorted out. We all also need to come together as allies and not be, I think there's so much between races and racism that needs to be constructed too. We need to deconstruct the whiteness. That needs to happen. So it's not a big deal. Nobody asked to be born into whatever form they are, but you were. And with that comes conditioning. If we can deconstruct that, that would be a great first step. Then we can meet each other as allies, and then we can really pave a new way. This is exciting because it is so fucking terrifying and awful out there. Other thought leaders have told me, I love your idea, but I don't think Americans are ready for this. If not now, then when? I want to do a pivot so that we can change the trajectory. If we just want to get to the other side of this without shifting the energy and doing whatever we need to do, step into our power so that we can infuse the new way with feminine energy, then we're just going to get to the other side. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure you will, but it's going to take maybe another 400 years or centuries for the moral arc of the universe to bend towards justice. So this will just speed it up. People, I know what I'm talking about. This is the reason that I'm here. My story almost ended in 2006. The stop button was pushed on my life. I don't remember the car that hit me, had no broken bones, no bruises, nothing to indicate that there was an accident at all. So the whole thing was very surreal. I woke up 3 days later without even a headache, but a major brain contusion, cracked skull, and permanent damage to my frontal lobe. What are you going to do? I didn't know what that meant because I felt so great. I also happened to wake up on my dad's death day exactly 2 years after he died. That was interesting because I was really getting a little bit secretly pissed off at him because he was nowhere to be found. It was radio silence. Everybody else was having signs, dreams, little birds, all the stuff that he was actually still with them in his, transition state. And I was getting crickets. I guess that accident and me being unharmed and having a new trajectory was kind of a sign, especially because that morning of the accident, I had gotten the dream job that I wanted, that I had been going for almost a month. And it was bigger pay, more responsibility, and relocating me back to Amsterdam, which was really what I wanted. And instead of being over the moon, I was like, holy fucking shit. The opposite of what I thought I should be feeling. There are other women who've, climbed the corporate ladder and then they get there and they're like, what the fuck? This is not my ladder. That was me. But now I got my get out of jail free card with this accident. And honestly, I felt like I didn't realize that this frontal lobe is the coordination part of your brain. It affects everybody differently. I was seeing a neuropsychologist, occupational therapist. She was people are fascinated about it. What happens in your day to day? And all I could talk about was This accident is directly linked to my core wound. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that now because no one is born with a core wound. My core wound came when I visited Annapolis at my 16th birthday. When I woke up in the morning, I was like, holy shit, it was all coming back to me. I ran to the mirror and I looked in my eyes and will anybody ever tell that this happened to me? No way was I going to let that little fuckface ruin my Annapolis, ruin my childhood. Nobody was going to know about this. I squashed it down, pretended it was a bad movie, and got on with my life. And then, went back to Europe. Here I was my whole life thinking that it was just my one thing, my one little story. I didn't see it as a trauma because I felt like it didn't traumatize me. First of all, I trained my brain to cope with every uncomfortable challenge in the same way. There was a lot of denial. And isn't denial a big part of American culture? Denying history, denying things are happening, just denial in general because we don't like things that make us uncomfortable. I also didn't want my parents not to let me come to college, and I also never wanted my dad to see me as damaged goods. I was the first born child. They were very young, head over heels in love, and then we immigrated to America. So I was always at this little high vibration that I could feel. And I think I felt what I didn't know, now I'm calling divine source energy. This is something I palpably felt throughout my childhood. Don't worry, I got severed from that night in the summer after my 16th birthday. The accident woke me up. I was like, oh, maybe I'm on the wrong path. I also was reconnected with my dad and reconnected with divine source energy. And so that happened. So I vowed in that moment, come what may, to find my right path. Only later, much later, did I realize the only way to find my true path is to heal the core wound. I had to do it. So I was like, fuck, damn it. And so I did it. I took my time. Luckily, I was in Asia because it's never just the thing that you think it is. It is really about deconstructing your own story. And that can be fun. It's very interesting. We should do it. We should want to do it. We need a new way. No? I'm not giving up on this experiment yet. But if people are not ready, if people are not into it, I'm also writing a book, and I could be doing that in Amsterdam. But I'm not feeling that 100% yet. So I haven't really found my people yet, but I'm also very busy trying to figure out what I'm doing here. But it is the I Am Pivot 180 experiment. So that's my destiny call, if you will receive it, because it's ours. It is ours. And I'm just throwing it out there. It's an experiment. And from there, when the energy shifts, the next thing will happen because it's ongoing. There's a reason they're tearing it all down. And if we want to continue the story, we need to deconstruct our own. This year was exhausting. I'd never thought I'd be exhausted, but it's been real like, holy shit. And it will probably get worse. So therefore, this community that we build with like-minded people, this is the kind of stuff that they hate. When we have joy, when we're having fun, when we're not paying attention, we're still going to pay attention, but it's not going to overconsume our lives. We need to stand up for the vulnerable. We need to do whatever we need to do when the people who tell us that that's what we need to do, you guys who are citizens. I'm a green card holder. I'm just in love with the soul of this nation, and I would do anything to pivot from where we are right now to where we could potentially be. Once we get there, there's going to be more work to do. But at least in that instance, it might only take decades and not another 400 years for the moral arc to bend towards justice. Because that's enough of that. Let's do it. It's in our hands. We can do this. We're all energy, interdependent, interconnected, and the ripple effect. Come on, people. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but we have to be the light. It's true.